I agree entirely. Somebody else have a question? Yes, Joey. Hmm.
Yeah, then, Amina, you're next. Yes, sir. Governor Levesque?
Good evening, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'll use three personalities.
Who are you?
Oh, sorry, Mr. President. I'm Joey Leviste. I'm chairman of Oceana Gold Philippines. Number one, I'd like to just thank you, Mr. President, for your call for responsible mining, for your balanced policy on mining, and Mr. President, that your standards are that of Australian and Canadian mining companies.
Canada, yes.
And thank you for that, Mr. President. And we trust that the DNR will follow your guidance.
Okay. Now, you don't have any problem with Gina if that is the standard you follow. Ang problema kay Gina, she has not gotten the nod of the Commission on Appointments. And I don't know, still have so many ubial. I'm just thankful that they were not rejected outright. They were just bypassed. In Congress, if you're rejected, then that is the end of your career with government.
So
Ito
you know
naman
where to
si
look.
Gina, but I am sure that we will be reasonable. My office is always receptive to any abuse of authority, or if we exceeded the normal limitations of our discretion. But I will see to it that everything is fair, and if we can follow the Canadian or Australian practice, then nothing is. Well, probably it would make a lot of holes in the land, and somehow there has to be a trade-off there. There is always the downside about mining. Oh, we can never neglect anything there to say that no damage has been done. To a certain extent, there is always, if you're trying to dig either up or down, there has to be some, well, of course, in the washing. If you guys have been there in the Walwal, and you should visit it, for one, just to see a tourist attraction there. The water, after that gets out of the washing machines there, it's actually black. Not brown, but black. So one day, I think somebody should decide to just, but you know, there are about already almost 150,000 people there, scattered around the mountains of the provinces of Davao Oriental and Caraga, and even as far as Agusan. If you ride on a helicopter, a low-flying machine, you'd see that it's almost the cup of Coca-Cola. It's placed there, full of holes until. But in Davao City, early on, I stood my ground and said, I will not allow mining in my city. My daughter, who's now the mayor, who has been mayor at one time in the past, she's always very strict about environment, and she does not want any mining. And I respect her decision, because I was the one also who stood my ground when there was this application. I said no, not in my city. You know why? It's not because of the whatever you structure, because it's money. It's because I do not like the way doing it in North Davao. It's the survival of what's the number of arms, who are you, general of this unit, and it's all arms there. Who has the men and the arms would prevail. And they would just go outright and confiscate a holder and a holder. No he, no ha. I said, you cannot do it here in Davao, because I will not allow it. I do not allow oppressors to rule the day in my city.
Mr. President, we also want to thank you for your appointment of DNR Undersecretary Louis Jacinto. He's been very positive in helping us in the industry, and we think he's a perfect appointment of the President.
I don't know about, Gina, because she has her own mind. I would not want to intrude into her ambit of set of whatever. Jacinto was a Bureau of Mines director for Region 11, to which my...
Yes.
Then I got him because of Chito Ayala. He was working for Chito, and I said, Chito said that, get this guy, he's very brilliant. Actually, Jacinto is a valedictorian, UPian. He's very bright. And he's coveted by some of the, but he has, thank God he has chosen to serve the people. Many corporations there wanted him, to get him to work for them. But he successfully able to. That guy is from UP. He graduated valedictorian. I think he says.
I'd like to consider. I'd like to consider splitting the DENR because I see a real conflict there. We should have a Department of Environment responsible for ensuring that the environment of the country is well looked after, and a Department of Natural Resources to look after the development and control of the mining
business.
and natural resources industries. Two separate departments, because at the moment you're doing one thing against the other. It's a conflict.
Well, it's a very long story, but someday I'll tell you how it happened. I am not saying that she's not qualified. What I'm saying that what led me to get her into the government service is this. While I was a president and waiting for my inauguration, Gina came to me almost 4 times in the temporary office which I was holding for a while. And she would go there so late, but 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because I was entertaining all sorts of people. And he would open her laptop and said, look, Mr. President-elect, you should, when you become a president, look at the spillage there, look at the deterioration, look at the rice fields. And I said, I agree, because it's visual. I said, okay. Then one day she would go there with a group, and then she would open the laptop. Oh, Mr. President, may I remind you not to, no, do not forget about this thing. New pictures taken all over the country. Third, same story, and we used to, there was a time we talked until 6 o'clock in the morning, really, even if you ask her. So the 4th time, I was really tired. And she was also showing me again new pictures. And they were all true, I agree, because they were real photographs. I mean, real time in the sense that they were taken contemporary times. But I was so sleepy. I said, Mom, you might want to be the secretary of the, para this can be. I made the proposal without really, not even a single na tatanggapin niya that she would accept it. Imagine Jenna Lopez of ABS-CBN, and the other criticizing and also, promoting vested interest. Let us be honest with ourselves. Said, really, Rudy? I said, yes, because there were still the guards still there, and a lot of people waiting for their turn. And I said, yes, because I never thought it would happen, But I'm not saying that she's not qualified. What I'm saying that it was a far-fetched idea of her accepting the position. But yes, of course. And I don't want to embarrass her. Mapahiya. Yes. Siya, okay, I'll consult my family and I would let you know. The following day, kaagad, ora mismo, she called Bong. And she said, Bong, you tell the mayor that my family agreed for me to work in government. Putay. Tinanggap. Kasi pumayag raw, the family agreed. that you would work in government. Sabi ko, ha? Patay na. So when she was hitting right or left, but I mean, she was not also exceedingly abusive. But there were times when I had to whisper to her, that, you know. So then they're still, bago lang. So when you are developing, you're not developed yet, as yet to mine. But she would listen. But sadly, when she was bypassed again, and I do not think that she'd ever get the confirmation. I don't know about this ubial of the health. Marami pang hindi pa na ano dyan. But Gina, in the meantime, let us just concede good faith on her. But this is really in good faith. But as to, I hope she would listen to Jacinto. Jacinto worked for me as my Sinro. That's the counterpart of the DNR in the city government. For almost 20 years. I said I've been mayor for 23 years. All along, she was that one time I transferred him to the city's engineering office just to place things in order. But he's very good. He is really very good and he's very knowledgeable. And he used to write my speeches, policy speeches. I said he's good here. I got him because he was also, and I brought him to the national. Sayang, it's sad that people there upstairs do not know his, or does not know his, Diana does not know her capacity, the capacity of the guy to work. He knows his business. He started with the Bureau of Mines as director. Fingertips niya yung mining, fingertips. He's that good. Geologist yan sa UP.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mina?
Thank you, sir. Salamat ho.
May I help you? You're raising your hand?
In the past couple of 100 years, we've gone through an industrial revolution which has completely changed the world. And we're entering now into the IT revolution, which is going to change the world even more.
I have a very competent Rudy here.
That's what I'm getting to.
So,
We have here the Secretary of DICT, a totally new department with a totally new mandate to completely computerize the government services and to develop the private sector in IT. Now, I don't want to take away from your time tonight because we've invited the Secretary in January to speak to us, and he will. But
you
I'd
might
just
want
like
to
to
have
get,
him also.
I'd just like to get very quickly from you, if you agree that this has got to be one of the major sectors for the Philippines to develop in the next 6 years.
Yes, Amina. How are you?
Yeah, Amina.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, sir, you mentioned about the national security concerns. And first of all, I just wanted to say that we have been proposing that when the Philippines chairs ASEAN, we should really have a conference on prevention of violent extremism. Singapore has had it already. Malaysia has had it. Indonesia. And I think this time around, let's really look at ways to prevent, because you're right. When they're here already and you counter it, that's too late. So we need to stop and make our communities more resilient.
Yes.
But the question I wanted to ask you, sir, since we are going to be chairing ASEAN, and it's the 50th year of ASEAN, what are we going to do with the BIMP IAGA initiative, which was intended to be one of our drivers, but which has sort of slept in the last 6 years?
It has to be trade and commerce.
Yes.
Oh, that's all about it. You know, we open the connectivity. There is none at all at present time. We have to improve in it, and When it is there, you can take advantage of